No, yes, secondo una come la cosa, c'est de ça qu'on a les fruits là. C'est de ça qu'on les dans le golden system et la manufacture, c'est une vidéo qui est effectivement si talking free data, real time data aussi. C'est ça par exemple là, nous gagnons dans nos données qui vous disent qui est free, c'est la notion là-bas, ça nous donne free.
Non, mais donc, là, diamant dans la
c'est un problème de qui nous a été manipulé dans la système d'histoire. Là, nous nous mettons le système.
C'est-à-dire, once you map out the whole of Mauritius, you have found it.
ça fait si moi, on va nous savoir tout ça, moi, je vais
Non, on regarde.
mon gars, c'est ça aussi.
Non, en fait, nous, c'est en privé. En privé, ça m'a été pour lui à voler la poste.
Ah, donc, c'est ça, on va pas aller bloquer. On va aller bloquer.
Ok, merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Le département d'État pendant une greenhouse, nous avons monitorer avec le département du système, oui, bien, il ne peut pas se donc on a des boards, on a un board en bas, il y a un sensor donc il vous détecter un moteur plus intérêt de source, et puis ça va dire là, sur le boîte là-haut, il continue un mobile board qui est une contrôleur, c'est le département d'État, l'over cloud. Et il y a un sensor qui est connecté avec le main board, des départements d'État qui est inside of the greenhouse, et là, à partir de là, il peut actionner directement de là, il vient en main, il peut actionner automatiquement, so that it creates a best environment for the production. Donc ça c'est un peu une plateforme, donc là nous avons un graphique qui va dire avec des capteurs qui rient à temps d'arriver, nous faisons bien les technologies. Là nous avons un bouton qui prend contrôle du ban actuateur, c'est-à-dire ventilateur allumé avec la pompe. Non, dans le futur improvement, nous devons consommer, au fait, à cause du Covid, parce que nous devons faire une matière même, nous avons trop le temps pour go into depth nos rapproches là. Et nous pensons, nous devons se intégrer après. Et là, nous avons one level down. Donc là, nous avons un historical value, nous avons sur un graph, nous avons filtré, lorsque nous terms of days, you have to tell you 30 minutes, 1 hour, 5 hours, 30 days.
Donc un paramètre non chimique de production.
Pour l'instant.
Très bien. Les cellules socles. Le socle noble, c'est quelque chose de synthèse, c'est le socle socle, that monitors the whole type of practical c'est vraiment l'expérience which is a very high level, but you can learn.
That's the next level.
C'est pas ninja aussi.
Ouais, pas ninja.
Il t'aime pas.
Oui, même pas, non,
En fait, il nous a déjà pris un télé par mois.
Oh, il a pris
Il nous a pris un télé par mois.
Votre démonstration.
Allez-y.
Tellement finir ensemble.
Le capitaine contexte, c'est un égo français. Il disait pour être ban du monde qui était souvent humilié. Et comment il marchait, c'est. Il fait un geste devant les caméras. Les caméras, ils trouvent un landmark comme si c'est un landmark, as in, fallait trouver, les fermer. Donc c'est certains landmarks. Et là, checker avec qui bonne condition de la météo avec vous. Si par exemple on veut faire L, avec qui bonne condition c'est indexé et le femme est ouvert et le reste c'est fermé. Et il y a une lampe entre l'index et le femme. Et à partir de là, nous pouvons faire une mettre en condition pour qui va l'alphabet représente qui va en faire. Et ce que vous pouvez trouver là, l'écran, ça c'est pas le virtual buttons. Que il y a certains mouvements après, comme J et Z. J c'est fait comme ça, et Z nous dessine avec les paramètres, qui ne pas aussi fait. Et maintenant ce travail c'est un peu difficile. Et maintenant un space button pour faire un espace en séparé. Et maintenant un audio button qui est généré à la fin. Maintenant cette button qui passe toujours dans les translation box et maintenant backspace aussi. Et à côté à droite, ce que vous trouvez, il y a un list of common words. C'est-à-dire si hungry, thank you. Ça c'est easy accessibility pour là. Et nous faisons une démo, nous regardez comment il marche. Et là, comment on trouve le panel marquant dessiné, il peut attendre les valider ici. Et du moment où il valide, il vient en bas de sa translation box.
Water is life.
Et là, comment on trouve une finie faire une gain audio output aussi. Et pour le moment, il y a un 2D système, pas en 3D. Ça veut dire, du moment qu'il l'emmène dans une certaine position, on va retrouver. Il l'emmène, il a été écrit avant, ça veut dire qu'il y a 90 degrés avant. Et il est là, il y a donc c'est pour nous rendre future work, c'est une fallait et c'est fallait une dynamique dans la façon qui n'est pas nécessaire à 90 degrés avec les caméras. À n'importe quel angle, n'importe comment, il faut détecter.
Introduce பண்ணிங்களா நீங்க இன்ட்ரோ듀ce பண்ணிக்கலாம்
Honorable Mr. Deepak Baragobin, Minister of Information Technology, Communication and Innovation, Professor Tijan Baron, Chairperson of Polytechnics Mauritius Limited, Mr. Yamal Matabedel, the CEO of Polytechnics Mauritius Limited, the Professor Fazila Banu, the Deputy Director of Amity Mauritius, board members, directors and representatives of private and public institutions, IT industry partners, all guests present, lecturers, staffs of Polytechnics Mauritius, members of the press and my dear friends, good afternoon and I welcome you all. I, Dawla Zuhair, final year of student diploma in big data analytics, and my friend Adrien Paul, final year of diploma in Internet of Things, will be your host this afternoon. It's a pleasure to welcome all of you today for this CAPSTONE Showcase event, the much-awaited event for final year IT students at PML. We are here to show the world what the students of PML have proudly achieved in those 2 years of studies on campus and during their time spent in industry internships. So, without losing much of your precious time, I leave the floor to my co-host Adrien to continue. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Zuhair. Without further ado, let's all welcome our first speaker, the Chief Executive Officer of Polytechnics Mauritius Limited, Mr. Yamal Bahabadou.
Thank you, Adrien. Honorable Deepak Balgobin, Minister of Information Technology, Communication and Innovation, Professor Baran, Chairperson of Polytechnics Mauritius, Board Directors, Mrs. Banu of Amity and the whole team from Amity, Dr. Chitu from University Technology Mauritius and the whole team of UTM, professors, members of captains of industry, leaders of the IT sector, the movers and shakers in Mauritius, a very good afternoon to you. Obviously, and above all, I think the students, very, very proud of what you've achieved today. First off, let me thank the Honourable Minister for his presence, although a very, very tight schedule. He's made it a point to actually be here with the students to see their showcases. You know, 2 Saturdays ago marked the 4th anniversary of Polytechnics Mauritius, 2 Saturdays ago. I am reminded to 30th January 2017, it was a Monday, when we had the first meeting of the Board of Directors of PML, newly constituted. And on the 16th of October, 3 managers and myself walked the corridors of the Ministry of Education to set up office in a small boardroom on 2nd floor. That's how it all started, Polytechnics adventure. 4 years in, lots of achievements, a lot of hard work by all the different stakeholders that have been here to make this possible. 3,000 students, we've crossed the 3,000 students bar with this recruitment just now. 23, 25 academic programs. 5 campuses now, not 3, with Osbel and Rodrigue adding to that, where we're having a batch start this time. and with nearly 75 members of staff compared to the 4 that joined. So the road has been long and we've achieved quite a bit, but obviously it's just the beginning right now. You know, when you tend to think about the methodology of Polytechnics Mauritius and the need thereof, many questions in the beginning were asked. Are we ready? Is there a place and carving out a space for higher technical education? And in year of universities in Mauritius, everyone wants to go to university. So is there a place for technical education? Can we actually modernize within the grander reform to the education sector? Is the stigma attached to technical education, is this going to have an adverse effect or not? And specialized diplomas at the beginning of 2 years, 3 years, or 1 year, does it make sense? I think a lot of these questions have now been answered partially, and hopefully soon very, very much so more. All this would not have been possible without the contributions of each and every single one present. You know, even as we're graduating this batch of students, nearly 75% of them are already employed. When you mix that with the first 2 batches of nursing, 100% being employed there. So we're at the cumulative average of 85% of employment. Education to employment is actually working for Polytechnics Mauritius. The EU average around the world for technical education at this stage is 73%. Even Germany and Switzerland have about 78 to 79%. So the 110 students, which is a small sample size, but at least the beginning, tends to work. So we need more. You know, as we go forward, I think it's important for us to develop our competencies, add sophistication, and develop those projects even more and more. Not only are our students finding jobs, but they're finding jobs with top-tier companies. You know, all of you present here. I mean, just to name a few, obviously this is not in any specific order, but the Accenture of the world, you know, the Aral Malak, Ocean DBA, Panden Wolf, IT Solve, there's so many different, Maridil, there's so many different companies that have welcomed our students. Plus, they are in IT jobs. You know, they're not in interim jobs waiting to get IT jobs. They're actually application developers, they're actually working as in project management, in R&D junior engineers. So they are employed in the fields where they pursue their studies. And I think that's also very important. Compared to a university, our methodology, as you've just seen on this IT Showcase Day, we do. We just don't think, we just don't learn. If we don't implement and we don't do it, it doesn't matter. So I think this is where there is resounding success and collaboration with industry, with all the different partners here. There are almost 60 of you, of partners from industry that are here today. So I think that shows your commitment to the equation. Moving forward, we want more, you know, more sophistication, more entrenched partnership, not just lip service, you know, in terms of at the beginning or at the end, but through and through, so that students keep getting jobs. So all in all, I think we're reminded the words of Steve Jobs when he said, stay hungry, stay foolish. Hopefully we don't take ourselves to be too intelligent that we cannot learn anymore, and hopefully we stay hungry enough that we want more and more. In about 2 years, even this campus is completely going to transform. The Ministry of Finance, and I think Mr. Patya, our board director here, has been pushing for us to extend this campus, and it was a budget measure in the past budget just went by. So a lot more coming. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Mr. Yamal Matavadu, for giving us such an insightful speech. So, with a round of applause, we will now like to invite the chairperson of Polytechnics Mauritius Limited, Professor Tishan Bahawan, to deliver his speech. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Deepak Balgobin, Minister of Information Technology, Communication and Innovation. Mr. Yamal Matavadu, CEO Polytechnics Mauritius. This is Fazila Banu, Deputy Director, Amity Mauritius. Dr. Iman Chetu, Acting Director General, University of Technology. Board members, CEOs and representatives of private companies, dear students, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Polytechnics Mauritius for this first IT capstone industry and networking event. Normally in traditional institutions at the end of programs of study, we talk about thesis, we talk about assignment, end of your assignment. but innovative institutions and more and more alluding to the term CAPSTONE, another buzzword indeed, where we refer to the consolidation and culmination of final year students learning and, I would say, valuable hands-on experience to develop them into well-prepared and well-rounded graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, Polytechnics Mauritius, as Yamal just spelled out, has been in the higher Tibet education for the past 4 years now, with a population of around 3,000 students and 5 campuses. We are striving to innovate and craft a high-skills ecosystem. In fact, we have aligned all our 23 programs to the needs and demands of industry stakeholders through rigorous practice-immersed curriculum that prepares our students for the world of work, both nationally and internationally. Not later than last week, I chaired a working session on Industry 5.0 and human centricity, where emphasis was laid on the skills needed not only in the new normal, but also to materialize the aspiration of our industrialists to embrace 5.0 initiatives and objectives, thus indeed addressing SDG 8 goals to promote sustainable growth and productive employment. Just to remind you, but Industry 4.0 is the application of information and communication technologies to industry, whereas Industry 5.0 refers to people working alongside robots and smart machines, that is towards more sustainable, resilient, and human-centric industry. Great emphasis was laid on the use of emerging technologies, innovative skill sets, and indeed the importance of STEM and STEMI. How are we doing in these sectors right now? STEM in secondary schools, some data, school certificate only 20% up to do physics and chemistry, with only 13% taking biology. At HSC level, only 20% of students do physics and chemistry, but only 5% taking biology. STEM in the tertiary sector, Mauritius is around 28% enrollment, whereas if you look at countries such as Finland, it's 54%, Korea 47%, UK 44%, and France 36%. So if we are to prepare ourselves for Industry 5.0, we should be prepared and be able to adopt and adapt ourselves to the concept of Education 5.0. In a nutshell, Education 5.0 is aligning teaching and learning methods with skills needed in the future and putting human qualities at the center of education. Novel pedagogical approach, provide industry solutions, offer personalized learning, and also indeed nurture a job creator mode mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to end by alluding to a very exciting project currently led by the MRIC, the Mauritius Research and Innovation Council, which combines both innovation and education. This is the satellite project. In fact, Mauritius was awarded in 2018 the opportunity to build and launch for the first time in its history a CUBE satellite through the International Space Station. Our satellite PSAT-1 has been launched and deployed this year. This satellite project is indeed a landmark for Mauritius, and it's important to situate its importance and context. Indeed, we are not going to revolutionize the satellite industry in Mauritius with this satellite project, but this is going to be a golden opportunity for the country and provide the young generation with innovation, I would say, outset. We're going to inculcate grassroots innovation with the use of a satellite project in schools and also in universities, thus indeed qualifying for SDG 4, quality education, SDG 9, industry innovation and infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are to develop an innovation-prone nation, our children in primary school students from secondary schools, technical institutions like Polytechnics, Mauritius, MITD, and universities should be fully exposed to initiatives that develop their innovation acumen and indeed promote STEM and STEMI education. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Tishan Baharwan, for those precious analysis. So we now welcome the Deputy Director of Amity, Professor Fasil Lavanu, on stage.
Dear Honorable Minister, Mr. Deepak Balgobin, CEO PML, Mr. Yamal Matavadu, dear students and invitees, all protocols observed. Good afternoon to you all. May I convey the deepest apologies of Amity Mauritius Vice Chancellor, Professor Kiran Bhajan, who is taken up with another professional commitment and was not able to come here. Please allow me to read his message. We are delighted to be here today to celebrate the success of our students who are on the path of great career. The world today has become so heavily reliant on technology, and this diploma in Internet of Things along with diploma in Big Data Analytics fit perfectly into the industry requirements. These capstone projects, they bear the testimony to the value and relevance of these students' brilliance. A very good congratulations to all the students. We are very proud of these students' achievement, and they represent the successful close collaboration between PML and Amity. This has been possible by the continuous quality, academic and administrative contact and support of Program Manager, Amity Mauritius, and Program Leaders for PML, and all the supporting faculties of PML and Amity. We had wished for a longer collaboration with PML, and we look forward to a change of heart from our valued partner. Dear students, we are proud of you. We know you will be successful, and we are confident of the level and quality of the education that you have received at PML. And we look forward to you graduating in Amity for the forthcoming graduation ceremony in November 2021. We are also pleased to inform you that Amity now has a pathway for you to obtain a degree. We are thus starting a BSc Honours Top-Up in Big Data as well as BSc Honours Top-Up in Internet of Things as from end November 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate these students' achievement together. Thank you for your kind attention, please.
Thank you, Professor Fasil Lavanu. It was very inspirational. Now we will have a privilege to welcome the chief guest of the event, the Minister of Information Technology, Communication and Innovation, Honorable Deepak Balgobin.
Professor Tishan Baharwan, Chairperson of the Polytechnics Mauritius, Mr. Yamal Matavadu, the CEO, Mrs. Banu, the Deputy Director of Amity Mauritius, colleagues from the private sector, CEOs, representatives, their students, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Well, I'm very delighted to be here today to witness this important milestone for students who have completed their diploma in IT, Internet of Things and Big Data. I understand that these two programs are run jointly by Polytechnics Mauritius and Amity Mauritius. I can empathize and understand very well the endless hours of sacrifice, anguish, and sweat that you have all endured and shed to get where you are today. I know that every one of you has completed the last 2 years under different conditions where you have never faced before as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. So it is with most heartfelt congratulations to all of you, not only for overcoming those challenges, but also emerging victorious out of it. And I'm made to understand that you are privileged to undergo a capstone assignment instead of the traditional dissertation or thesis. I need to admit that I was quite impressed to see the various projects that has been done by the students, and I was talking to Yamal. These students have only 1 year of education here, and in those couple of months to understand and develop those projects is really interesting. That shows the future of the industry, that shows the sector. Le secteur se porte bien. We have in this current pandemic situation one of the rare sectors that have had une très bonne croissance. And also what is interesting to note is recruitment in the sector. We're just having a chat with Ashwin of SDWX. They're going to recruit 200 persons. They're looking for people. Accenture was having a chat with Shalini. Accenture is recruiting 300 people. And I'm sure many of you here in the sector, representatives of various organizations, are recruiting massively. That shows the sector, even in this very difficult situation, is doing good in terms of the business volume, in terms of the human resource demand, and this will give confidence in the students and potential students who want to embrace the ICT studies. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a generation where technology has surrounded us from all our sides. On every day runs on the use of the technology. Every single day runs on technology. Today your fridge tells you what you need to buy. We have moved drastically from a traditional way of living to this is what we call the new normal. And technology has been very important in our daily life. And it has never been so timely for the digital transition of our society, which has so much accelerated with the pandemic. This government realized that for the country to be able to face the world's volatile economy, we need to keep innovating and to build stronger capacity. We firmly believe that Mauritius will continue to make formidable progress as a leading digital country for decades to come, and will establish itself as a reference for other countries. With this in mind, government is continuously investing in new and bold innovation initiatives to take our sector to the new heights. And here, I am also pleased to announce that I have introduced in Parliament 2 days ago the Cybercrime and Cybersecurity Bill, which, when voted, will replace the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act of 2003. Today, there is more than ever an urge on us to consolidate appropriate safeguards to mitigate cyber threats. I was just chatting with some students who were working on how to prevent cyber threats and cyber attacks. Under the very able leadership of the Prime Minister and his commitments toward the betterment of the life of people, this government is setting the stage for even brighter future, embracing digital transformation initiatives and an accelerated adoption of new technologies at a much faster pace. You will recall I have set up a new council by Naka Parliament, the Mauritius Emerging Technologies Council, where in the very near future, the council will be set up for having objective to embrace new technologies to be able to see the future. I just come from Dubai last week, and I had the pleasure to visit the smart police. Today you go in a smart police, it is first of all humanless, there's no people, and paperless. And you could transact in 10 different languages, and you could transact as if you are in a normal police station. So we need to embrace new technologies to be able to facilitate the life of people. And at the same time, Tishan from the chairman have just mentioned, innovation is the big part of it. Because innovation is not only a list of projects, it is a mindset and a must, and we strongly believe in the potential in terms of research and innovation to spearhead progress and development in Mauritius. Together with the relevant institution to drive innovation, government has earmarked special funds under the National Innovation Program to fund innovative projects. And I invite the sector to come forward with innovative projects, and government will here fund those projects to be able to, for you to get the support to innovate. The funds ranging from 125 million rupees to 150 million rupees have been earmarked in the budget since 2016 and have been used to great extent to fund measures outlined in the National Innovation Framework 2018-2030. And we talk about innovation. Mauritius is a very small country, and recently we've been classified as the 52nd country in the world, coming from 82, 82nd a couple of years back. We are 52nd position in the world in terms of innovation index. And I have told my team to continue working so that we at least be in the top 20 in a couple of years. In terms of cybersecurity index, Mauritius places itself first in Africa. So all these indexes are not done by a couple of press that just see the big picture. It is done by reputed international institutions. And having just mentioned, I'm not going to go into the space, Mauritius being now called a spacefaring country. We have launched our satellite. There's so many things that we have done. But then I've just said the sector is present here. From the horse's mouth, I would say, I've just had a chat with a couple of friends of the sector, and they are encouraging words from them to say that in terms of the ICT sector, things are moving in terms of business start picking up, in terms of initiatives, in terms of government input. But unfortunately, and I should say it, everybody is seeing all those advancements except un certain groupe de presse that they see nothing is good. Even the sector is not good. Everybody is criticizing. Donc, I make an appeal. Instead of sitting in your office and hiding behind a pen, talk to the sector. Talk to these people that are working day and night, that are striving hard to make the sector become where it has to become. So, in this was en parenthèse. It is good sometimes you let the message go where it has to go. In a couple of months, I have asked the Mauritius Research and Innovation Council to partner with the industry and stakeholders, and we're going to organize les assises de la recherche et de l'innovation. It will be the first time we organize such an event where we will get the collaboration of all the sectors, the private sector, the public sector, the civil society, to come together and write a roadmap for innovation. Because you can have a good ecosystem, you can have a very good plan for the sector, but if companies do not innovate together with technology and emerging technologies, it is not a good recipe. We have to bring innovation. This is why we're going to organize les Assises de la Recherche et de l'Innovation 2022, which will have a platform for a national dialogue with all sectors, so that, as I said, we bring a roadmap, the master plan for technology, for research, for innovation. Perhaps more than ever, in the face of the rapid changing world and economy, and as I said, the new normal imposed by the pandemic, it is crucial that we find such new and creative and innovative ways to give a push to the socio-economic development of the country. We are all in the same boat, make no mistake about it. You don't think that if one sector is doing good, but other sectors are falling apart, so because you're not in the other sector, you are well established. We're all in the same boat, and we need the support of each and everybody. The support of government is here. I stand for the sector. I meet the association very often, be it OTAM, be it MITIA. I've just met the new president of MITIA. We have to bring efforts together to be able to succeed in this situation. So, ladies and gentlemen, with these words, dear students, especially students, I once again applaud all your efforts. I wish you all an inspiring, informative and successful networking. I wish that you find happiness and fulfillment as you embark on different pathways after your graduation. I also apologize because I had asked Polytechnics to prepone a little bit the function, because I have another function to attend in a couple of minutes, I should say. And with these words, I thank you very much for your kind attention.